Hey guys, it's James and we're back for round 15. It's flying through. One last week of the buys, thank God. Before you skip any further, just a quick PSA. Just remember that some days I will update the form guide. In my video last week, I said I didn't have a bet for North Collingwood because there was no value. I had to wait till the rest of the players were added to Ladbrokes. I had to, the odds would change too. So I said there was no bet, hold off. I'm going to update, I'm going to post in the community section with an updated bet for Sunday. And I hadn't quite clarified my GWS Port one. It was in the bet slip, but I hadn't updated it. So I posted Sunday, my Sunday bets. Was it Saturday night or Sunday morning? Anyway, I posted with plenty of time. So just reminding you guys, so on phone or on your mobile or on the internet, the web browser, on my channel, there's home videos, but in the community section, I don't know if you can get like alerts for this or something, but the Sunday game, because I didn't have the Collingwood North Melbourne game organized, because there was no bet, I had to wait for the rest of the players to populate, because for some reason, a lot of the Sunday games, especially like West Coast, Gold Coast, like North, some of the bottom teams don't always have their players in there ready to go when I'm doing these videos on Thursday or Friday. So it's sometimes a little hard to find value, especially for this game. But I said I'm going to post an updated thing in the community section, and just letting you guys know, because it doesn't get many likes or anything. So like, I posted one for the King's birthday game, and then one for the Sunday game. So I'm not sure if you guys will see it or don't look at it, but I just feel bad if you're going to the video on a Sunday looking for the Sunday tips when, like I've said, I'll post in here. And so like here I include notes of who I like, who missed last week and who I liked. And literally out of everyone here, only one player missed, and that was Sheasel. So it was fucking bullshit. But anyway, we got our bonus bet for North and then carried that over into GWS, which actually got us positive. So I'll get into the bets in a second, but just a really sort of strong PSA reminder. So any game that's on a Thursday, there's no more Thursday games anymore, so don't worry about that. But my videos come out on Friday, so for any game that was on a Thursday, I would post the bet slip too, like the Dogs line. Was that a Thursday or Friday? Or I'll have updated things like for tonight's game. Remember below, this might have been Richmond Adelaide. Yeah, was that a Thursday? It was, because I remembered I complained on the video on Friday. But anyway, the point is I'll have tips, I'll have stats, I'll have my bet. I also just include the whole form guide and my bet there as well. I remember this one lost by one leg. Nick Vlosten got 14. Anyway, that's not the point. Just a reminder, PSA, for any sort of irregular games, a Thursday, or not anymore, a Monday, or a late Sunday game that hasn't quite updated in time of recording because there's not enough players provided on the betting agencies, or there's not much form, I will say in the video, or just keep an eye out on the community tab here. So a big shout out to start the video, because a couple of people haven't noticed, and I doubt a lot of you guys are noticing too, because I don't know if this gives like alerts or something, or maybe I need to find a better way to place it. But that's just a big reminder, because with those tips that I provided in the community section, that's how we got to this good number. So we'll go through our bets, but yeah, that's the end of the PSA. Let's go through round 14 recap. So the first one was Brisbane St Kilda. I was at this game, and dude, Charlie Cameron just looked nowhere near it. I thought he would bounce back. He got a goal in like the last 5 minutes or something, and just shanked a shot at goal. I know he's been under form all year, but I thought he would bounce back after not kicking one the week before. And at home against St Kilda, yes, who are a defensive team and will often, smother your scoring, but I really backed Brisbane to score well, which they did. Like, what do they score? That 126 points, however many goals that was, 19 goals, and Charlie Cameron, for 95% of that game, kicked none. It was only in the last little bit, so that one was just super unlucky. Berry was great, and Josh Dunkley, I still think he can, I still like Josh Dunkley. I know Windhager was on Neil. Was there like a soft tag on Dunkley? It's hard to see. I sat somewhere different for that game. I was sitting like right on the boundary line. So great for when the footy is there, but shit for the rest of the game. So that one just fell flat. We didn't get a bonus bet. The Doggies Fremantle game, another shit one. So I kind of just, it's some of these games, man. So Jack McRae, thankfully I wussed out because he got 19. That was the only one that hit. He still looked fine, but he's just he's just teetering on 20 now. He can just sometimes barely crack it. So I was playing it safe. Jaeger O'Meara, I still like. He had a good quarter or so, but then went missing. Brayshaw, again, just when I'm watching it and I've got my eyes on Brayshaw, he's just everywhere I want him to be. He's running a lot. He just wasn't used sometimes. Like there was plenty of options where he was open or running by for the handball and he just didn't get it. So I still like Brayshaw, and a player like that who's just really good, it's just bound to miss. So you don't really worry about them. It's just sometimes that's the game. The Doggies won by like 10 goals. So, and Riley Sanders. So this was his first game he's played like start to finish and didn't hit 15 posies. So it's kind of good that sometimes I'd rather my bet look like this than miss by one leg. Like when Vlosten missed by one posie last week, it's like, are you kidding me? Like all I need you to do is just call for the footy one more time. When this happens, it's like, tough shit. I still like a lot of these players and I'll use them again. I would much rather this result when a bet fails. Richmond Hawks. Oh, the Dusty game. Dusty was paying $1.10 for a goal, and he kicked the opening one, but a lot of betting agencies had him like Dusty for a goal and 20 posies, or Dusty for a goal and 25, or 2 goal, whatever the fuck. There was so many Dusty things, and I'm like, he's just so not up to it this year. So I'm glad he had that first play and looked amazing. It was great, and he thanked the crowd. The game, you know, the support and love for Dusty was awesome, but damn, some of those markets for him, everyone was on the Dusty hype. So we obviously didn't bet on him there, but everything else was great. We kept backing Vlosten after he missed the last 2 by 1 posie each time. So he was bound to do it. He was fine. Jack Graham, he was great. Tim Taranto and Thompson Dow are doing well in the midfield. There's someone else. But Jack Graham, he'll sort of, when I'm watching him, he does look very sort of like unfit. I don't know if it's his running style or something. He just always looks puffed. But yeah, he's still getting a lot of footy going around the ground. Jack Ginnivan bounced back after last week. So again, that wasn't to worry. Kicked one on the big stage. Jai Newcomb as well. I'm pretty sure all of those players except Jack Graham missed last week. That's what I mean. Like those, like 3 out of 4 missed, and literally last week 3 of those players missed. But the thing is not to get discouraged and not to fucking, I'm never gonna back them again. Like just they're good. They're good players. They'll bounce back. Got to stay strong. Trust yourself. Except no, I'm kidding. Hayden McLean, just very unlucky. Who the fuck knew Joel Amadi would just come out and kick 9 goals? He was short 10. He got taken off. That's right, in the last couple of minutes. And then Hayden McLean got subbed just because like he was on the bench at the time, and they don't need another big forward when Joel Amadi's popping off. So damn, that was super unlucky. He didn't have a scoring shot last week, and it's only happened once at one other time this year. And then there you go, now it's happened again. So very unlucky. Otherwise, Brody Grundy was killing it. Same with Goulden. And Luke Nankervis, I was kind of happy to back again after that 28 posie game, because usually after a player has a blinder like that, it reminds me of like Kane Farrell. He is notorious, well, just in my eyes, of having a big blinder game, and then we'll have like 12, 14 posies the next week. Or Dane Zorko. There's a couple of players like that who are super inconsistent. I was kind of worried. I was like, please don't be that type of player. But so he's had his little outlier. He's at his peak. So if he can continue around 15, 16, 17, that's great. Unfortunately, it might affect his price though. So I actually don't know what he's placed this week. I'm recording this on the Thursday, and I'm going to try and do my bets Friday just to give me a little bit more time to have the odds settle. So this was the Sunday game. Reminder, if anyone's watching or listening at this point, I've just said at the start of the video, this bet was finalized in the community section on the YouTube thing. So I posted it. It wasn't in the video. So I'm including it here in my weekly profit and loss because I posted it. Any bet I post or, include in the video or in the community section, that is how this total is calculated. So Bobby Hill took probably arguably mark of the year. Darcy Cameron, yeah, I'm so glad I picked him again, because against Gorn, but against Cherry, he held his own. Even though Cherry was pretty good. Maynard has been so consistent. If you can still get him over for $1.20, just lock him in. I don't care who he's playing. He's just getting the footy. And then Sheasel. So I was on the fence with LDU and Sheasel, and Sheasel just got me over the line because he's averaging like 2 or 2 and a bit more posies than LDU, and LDU just hit against West Coast. So I was like, you know what? I might go Sheasel this time, and far out. It's LDU just looked best on ground. He looked amazing. So you win some, you lose some. So that one was a loss. And remember, this is the first game of the Sunday. So this bonus bet goes into the second one of Sunday. So we use that bonus bet. Do I have the bonus bet here? I do, yeah. So this is the bonus bet. I changed my bet slightly with the bonus bet. I included Josh Kelly. I couldn't help myself. So I did the bet, this one, which I posted in the community section. And then the bonus bet, I'm like, fuck, Josh Kelly is too good of a player. He's going to come back and get 20. Well, he got 27. But so to compromise of putting in Josh Kelly, I just lowered Lockie Whitfield, because the 25 plus bracket is my least favorite. So we compromised, but it ended up being like the same odds. It was like $3. So that's how we got the bonus bet there for that one. Dan Houston was Port Adelaide's best. They would have been spanked way more if he wasn't playing. Toby Green, just another player. I don't usually like half forwards, but Toby Green gets a lot of the footy. Brett Daniel, I got 2 like half forwards there. Anyway, but yeah, dude, those GWS small forwards they run up the ground a lot. So I haven't had any issues with Toby Green or Brett Daniels. I would continue to back him. And Lockie Whitfield, I was almost turned off because the 2 times I bet on him this year, he got below 20. But his recent 3 or 4 games, his last month has been much better. And yeah, he just owns those kickouts. And until they stop taking kick-ins or kickouts as a disposal, those players who own the kickouts are so freaking good. They're like, it's what's driven Mitch Hinge's price down so much. He was always such good value like last year, and now this year he's very short. But like another example of just players who command it and just want Bailey Dale. Those players who will like run down from like 30 meters out and so, nah, give me the footy, I'm kicking it out, and they'll always go play on. So anyway, that's the recap of last week, round 14. I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to come back tomorrow and record right before the Carlton Geelong game. That'll be good. Yeah, anyway, so that's half the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, peace. I was just logging off, and I remembered I was going to show you guys. Have a look. This is, okay, you know how I usually do 3 to 4 legs for $3 to $4? Sometimes, even myself, I'll get a little trigger happy. Look at what the fuck happens, and I always say never include the score, like the game result. Richmond versus Hawthorn, both teams to score 50. It was like $1.20. I was like, yeah, both teams to score 50. Like, that's how they get like a combined score of like 160, 70. Richmond get, what did they get? Wasn't it like 49 points? And then, because I don't learn, have a look at then the next time I do this. I do it for the GWS Port. Both teams to score 60. What did Port get? 51. It's little just quick reminder that I need to also listen to my own advice. Easier said than done, but like the players are where it's at. Sometimes just keeping the score, the margin, the winner, the loser of the game is just not worth it. It's just easier to track the players. They're more consistent, because otherwise you'll get teams that just dish up shit, especially after a bye. Anyway, so they were just 2 bonus bets. Well, not actually, they were real bets, but the point is, like, you feel like you can just do so much right, and then the game itself, like the overall, will just fuck you. So just a quick reminder then to try and not include any of those sort of things. All right, on to round 15 bets. We're back. It's the next day. I've quickly put together my bets. I've also updated the form guide and the layout. I hope you guys like it. I've also included the last 6 games. Last 5 was like not enough. Last 10 was too much. So like last 6 is like, yeah, it's pretty good. Just because I would constantly use it too. I want to see what they got. It's good to see the form and what they hit out of 10, but I also like seeing their last couple of games. So their last month and a half of footy. So I've got that there now as well. But yeah, let's smash through this video. I want to get this out before the Carlton-Geelong game, which is in 2 hours. So my bet, I'm going to start off just by saying I did this bet this morning, right? So Zach Guthrie, Jack Bow, Jeremy Cameron, Blake Acres, Adam Sard. My concern there is Blake Acres, but I do like Blake Acres after a miss. He gets a lot of the footy on the wing there for Carlton. The thing is what I updated. So this form guide, it's crazy. So I have actually 2 things I had to update. This was the form as of this morning, right? Which is pretty crazy. So Adam Sard was $1.24. It was $1.24, or Jack Bowes was $1.17. Yeah, it was. But anyway, so Adam Sard has gone down to $1.13. So just for an updated bet, this is my bet that I've placed my real money on. But maybe if I was to do it again, I would look at these options. So I still like Zach Guthrie. I still like Jeremy Cameron. But Max Holmes, he went from like $1.09 to $1.20. Now I know Dangerfield is back, but I still think Max Holmes is going to be just doing well in the mid. There's no Cam Guthrie, right? So he's still in there. And Mitch McGovern and Adam Sard are kind of like either or for me. Adam Sard has just took more kickouts recently, but Mitch McGovern takes them too. So, and Mitch McGovern plays on, whereas Adam Sard takes him in the fucking square. So I feel like this is better. This would get you $3 with odds boost at the moment. So if I was doing it again right now, that's probably what I would go for. So everyone else who I like, yeah, Max Holmes, as I said, went to $1.20, which was like, that's great. I think he's going to get a lot of the footy. I know Carlton midfield tend to, but oh, and Tom Stewart's $1.60. Like, I know he's teetering on the edge of 20 posies at the moment, but yeah, I was so tempted to include Tom Stewart. Like, the only reason I wasn't going to was because, like, I swear he gets concussed or injured. It's happened like twice this year, and just I have that. I don't know. I just hate betting on someone who I think might get injured or I might get tactical subbed. I learned that the hard way with Zach Williams. But anyway, so that's my bet. Anyone for 25? I still like Max Holmes for 25. He missed last week, and that was against Sydney, remember? Sydney, it wasn't last week. It was 2 weeks ago. Geelong had the bye. So Max Holmes, I think, can still get a lot of the footy, and I like his price much more than Cripps and Walsh, who Walsh definitely averaging 31 posies. I mean, but come on, you've got to try and find the value here. Goal kickers, I like Ollie Henry. Ollie Henry missed 2 weeks ago on his last, or 3 weeks, whenever his last game was, but that was because he had hamstring tightness or against Richmond. So I feel like his price is pretty good considering, I think there was a big stretch of games where he just was kicking goals. So yeah, he averages almost 2 a game for $1.20 or $1.19. I like that. Matt Owies has been someone that I always like as well, but his price, like him, Riley West, Kai Lohman, their prices will go down. Someone who hasn't, though, is Brad Close. He's green and green. Like, you rarely see green and green this late in the season, but Brad Close is. To be honest, I probably just forgot him. I didn't really look at goal scorers, but I'm a big fan of Brad Close just for value and what he does. So, averaging over a goal a game, 9 out of 10 times. He's kicked one in his last month and a half of footy. So anyway, that's my bet for the Geelong Carlton game. I hope this gets out to people in time before the game tonight. All right, game 2, which is Port Adelaide Lions. Oh God, I can't wait till these buys are done. I'm so sick of little footy on the weekend. It's insane. Port Adelaide Brisbane. Okay, Willem Drew is paying good odds for, again, someone who's behind Butters. Butters isn't even hitting his target. Oh, let me update my bet, sorry. So my bet for this, let me go through it. Jasper Fletcher, again, his range, he's been ultra consistent. What I'm worried about, just in the back of my head, you know, he's just over like 50% hit rate, and he's hit the last 2 games. So naturally you think, oh, he's probably going to have a down week. I'm trying not to think that, because he's also a young player who's really cemented his spot on the wing there, who's getting better each week, and surely that's going to contradict his games where he lapses. So he'll be playing on the wing there with Burgoyne probably, or who else is on their winger for Port? But I still think he can hit, and that's probably my riskiest bet. Willem Drew, who I started off with, is just great value, 10 out of 10, averaging 20 for $1.26. Like, you can't ask more than that. Yes, I know Connor Rose, Butters, both of them are actually underperforming. Wines is doing well, and Boak's there, but I still think Willem Drew has a good chance. Charlie Cameron, a goal scorer. Charlie is the highest he's ever been paying for a goal scorer for like the last 2, 3, 4 years or something. He's $1.20. I'll get to him in a sec, just when I scroll down. But $1.20 for Charlie Cameron. I know his form hasn't been great. He kicked a goal in the last 5 minutes. I think I already said this in the other video. He kicked a goal in the last 5 minutes, right? So I had him for 2 last week, and I had a close full eye on him. Brisbane usually kick a high score. I know it's at Port Adelaide, or it's at Adelaide, so it's not at the Gabba. I still think they'll kick a decent score. I think Charlie, you could have almost counted that as a miss last week. He could have easily gone that game without kicking one. So he didn't quite jump back into form. So this is kind of where I'm betting on him to bounce back into form. And for $1.20, I can't say no to Charlie for that price. Josh Dunkley, I've had him the last 2 weeks and he's just missed for 25. So just to get it to a nice, like sort of just over $3, I don't need to do any other risky bet, especially when I have Jasper Fletcher. I don't want 2 sort of semi-risky bets in a 4-leg. If I have Fletcher, I'm happy to go Dunkley for 20, even though he's not paying too much, but he's someone who I like watching. I'm confident in he'll get 20. Let's go through the rest of the list. I like, Burgoyne, who I mentioned before. Danaher has... Actually, you know what? I really do like Danaher for 15. He has... Look at the game where he's missed in his last month and a half. He got 14 posies. So he's been very close, averaging, over 15, almost 18 posies. He has been very good. Very good for a big full forward. Anyway, I'm not going to try and... I need to keep moving so I get this video out. Dan Houston was amazing last week. I'm just going to... once I've had a player that hits their target, I'm happy to kind of, maybe see if there's anyone else the next week, except Jasper Fletcher. He's doing well. Jarry Berry for 20. Ollie Wines, who I mentioned as well, averaging 5 more than what you need him to for 20, which is fantastic. I've highlighted Dunkley for 25. If you don't want to back Fletcher, then my, risky, the risky one to include in your same game, I really like Dunkley. He's missed in his last 2 by 1 posie in one game and 2 posies in the next. He's always close. He always pays really well because Dane Zorko and Lachie Neale are always going to be above him on the odds. So yeah, I like him. And Charlie Cameron, as I said, $1.20. Like that. I know he's under form. I know. I've been watching him, but I still think that is a great price for Charlie Cameron, and I really hope he can start to find a decent amount of form for their push in the next half of the year before finals. Willie Rioli missed last week, so again, maybe if you don't like Charlie Cameron, Willie Rioli missed. I like someone who comes off a miss, but I also like Lions players. Kai Lohman, been great, and Zach Bailey missed last week, and it used to be him and Lincoln McCarthy would kind of like, someone will kick one, someone will miss, but there's no Link, so Zach has been relatively good for goal scoring since Link went down. What do I need? Oh, next game. So we go to GWS Sydney. Or again, if I am rushing, I'll try and slow things down a bit. I think I'm making good time. GWS Sydney. Who did I bet? So let's switch to my bet. Here we go. Oh, all right. Yeah, so 3 legs, remember? If you do a 3-leg same game multi, 1 leg fails, you get a bonus bet. I really like Tom Green. I've just been watching him heaps ever since I've been betting on him for like the last month, and he's been great. The one game he missed was against Hawthorn, and like he was very, there you go, 1 posie off. Oh, got 11. Can't remember what that was. I said I've been betting on him the last month. That's been his last month. So he's been very good in the last month of footy that I've been properly watching him. And Errol Goulden, right? Sydney midfielders, they're like the best goal kicking midfielders. I'm just gonna jump down while I'm talking about him. Isaac Heaney, 9 out of 10. Chad Warner, 9 out of 10. Now, Errol Goulden, the winger, also in that group of elite Sydney mids, on ballers, whatever you like. He was 7 out of 10 before this, and he missed last week, which pushed him to 6 out of 10. But again, he's at like $2, $1.94. Someone who, in my opinion, is much better than a 50% chance of kicking a goal. I think he can bounce back. He's amazing. He's going to be in the Brownlow race. I know Heaney is the favorite at the moment, but yeah, I like Goulden for that, especially for that price. If Goulden wasn't there for that price, I would definitely take McLean, who I had last week and missed. He got subbed out, was unlucky. Joel Amati kicked 9 goals. The forward line was his that game. Plus, Sydney had a really shit first quarter, or first half, was it? So, again, I watch these games, and it already goes out of my head. He had a shit, Sydney had a shit first half. So, when Sydney were playing well, you know, Hayden McLean was helping out in the ruck, and then also was subbed off for like the last quarter. So, and then Logan McDonald kicked one in the last quarter. I think Hayden McLean could have kicked one, but it was just rough with good on Joel Amati. But anyway, we're looking at our bets here. Jake Riccardi missed last week, who I do like. Whitfield has been in great form after he had that stint where he was copping the tag. And Goulden is getting so much of the footy. It's crazy. 10 out of 10. I would have picked him for disposals had I not gone him for a goal. I don't like double dipping in players for a goal and disposals. I think then I'm asking too much, but I would rather one or the other. And I would usually go Goulden 25, but for $2 for a goal, I'm confident in the other two legs. Ollie Florent, he's usually way shorter than that. He's averaging 21 posies and $1.18. He's going to be sub $1.10 probably game day tomorrow. Brett Daniels has been great, but I already have Toby Green, so I don't need him. Kieran Briggs, again, has been fantastic, but he's going against Brodie Grundy, who is $1.05. Crazy. Anyway, Jake Lloyd just missed 2. I feel like there's better options, and same with Himmelberg. I feel like I don't want people sort of like teetering on their disposals for that price. If they're teetering, I'd rather someone, like a Jasper Fletcher or Goulden, who's just like same form, like 6 out of 10, but $1.94. I freaking love that. So yeah, that's my bet for the Sydney game. Let's move on to Melbourne, North Melbourne. Look at my bet for that one. Who have I gone? Oh, yeah. Okay. So we had Tom Sparrow King's birthday. Had an amazing first quarter and then went home at quarter time. So it's real annoying when your players don't play 4 quarters of footy. 7 posies in the first. He's halfway there. He's pretty much home. No. So anyway, he missed, and obviously there's no Petrarca. I think Tom Sparrow can step up a little bit. Jack Viney has gone down very short in price, probably because of that reason, but I would rather Tom Sparrow. Ed Langdon, again, just on the wing, he missed last week. So when I was doing this bet, it wasn't quite $3. I just wanted just that safe player that, again, I really like, especially someone who's just had one bad game, averaging 19 posies. Fantastic. Again, Neil Bullen's doing good too, but I would just prefer someone coming off that miss. Darcy Tucker, right? Last year, I really liked Darcy Tucker for 15 posies, but this year he was a bit hit and miss. This was on the wing. Darcy Tucker is now playing like sort of back pocket, half back, and he's getting a lot more of the footy down there. Like his last month, he's averaging like 24 posies or something. Yeah, that's freaking amazing. So yes, the form is 5 out of 10. Yes, his last 10 games, he's averaging 19 posies, but he's getting much more of the footy. And again, I watched a bunch of the footy the last couple of weeks, so I really like Darcy Tucker. Oh yeah, and I've included him. So LDU, I'm sorry, I didn't bet on him last week, and the footy gods punished me. I bet on Sheasel, but again, I still wouldn't mind Sheasel, but I gotta go LDU. I really like watching him play. He looks like a class above. Like all the North Melbourne squad is like here, LDU is up here. I mean, there's a lot of great players on that team. Yeah, Sheasel, Zach Fisher, Charlie Comben's looking good. But dude, LDU, some of those side steps, dance moves he did, like just to dodge traffic, man, he's looking great. So I want to back LDU. I want to watch him, follow him, and like I said, Darcy Tucker I've got for 20. Goal kickers. Eddie Ford missed last. Eddie Ford kicks goals when he starts sub, when he's taken off sub. He missed when he played a full game of footy, and North kicked our highest score ever. Well, this year, not ever, sorry. So again, I like him to bounce back, but I've already got my, again, risky sort of pick with Darcy Tucker. And Max Gawn, I've highlighted another player, like 7 out of 10, who missed last week, $1.80. He's the big captain of the team. I feel like he's going to kick a goal at some point. North Melbourne are at $4.85. I think they were like $5.50, or was that West Coast? But they were definitely over $5. I'm kind of tempted to back North, but again, that's where I lose. I don't like to bet on the games, the margin, the value, or whatever the heck. We just stick to the players. Although that is very tempting. Even North at the line. Anyway, moving on. So, all right, I haven't actually got my bets ready for Sunday because I was saying in the start of the video, for some reason, the Sunday games and the interstate clubs, they're never populated on like Ladbrokes. Like, look how many players are here. How many is that? 18 players that are filled here for 15. Like, that's half a squad sort of thing. But anyway, and there's not... What I'm going to do, this is a great opportunity as well, where I will probably update this form guide for Essendon West Coast and Freo Suns in the community tab. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to probably update that Sunday morning, and we're going to see if we can finalize these bets. But for anyone who just watched the video, this is what I'm doing for now. Nick Martin, didn't he get like drafted, or did he play for West Coast? Or I swear I heard on the coverage that West Coast like gave him up. Anyway, I think he's going to have a blinder against West Coast. It's at Marvel, so under the roof. He's going to be running laps. He's going to be doing, he runs so much. I don't care where he plays. He always wants the footy. Jai Caldwell has been averaging great, doing well in the middle there. And Archie Perkins, who he came back, wasn't injured for a bit. He came back, played 3 weeks, and he missed his first game back, and then he's hit the last 2. So yeah, I like what I'm seeing. And Tom Cole is a player I always like after a miss. Playing in the back line there for West Coast, he will get the footy. I was actually tossing up between him and Ruben Jimby, but Ruben Jimby is just too short for, like, he's averaging the same form guide, same everything. Yes, he's on the ball. He's in a position to get more of the footy, but Tom Cole for that price, I would much prefer. Oh, so you know what's crazy? From the top of the form guide, you can see who I like for 25 posies. Like, that's what I mean. They don't include everyone. So if I go to the other games, like, well, especially for the game tonight, if I go to the top of the list there, you can't even see the bottom of the 20s. Anyway, we didn't get through to goal kickers for that game. Oh yeah, I only really like Harrison Jones there. He's usually good for a goal. And that's all you need. Kyle Langford though has missed in his last 2. I was tempted to see what he was paying for 2 goals, but he's like $1.16 or it's just, I think he's going to kick one, but again, just not for that price. And Harry Jones is shadowed by Peter. Like, look at all the other goal scorers. 1, 2, 3, 4 other goal scorers in front of him. So yeah, I like Harry Jones for that. And there's just something about me that just doesn't trust the West Coast goal kickers, even though they're 8 out of 10. Jamie Cripps, Jack Darling. I did have a stint on Jack Darling at the start of the year, and he looked like shit, but you know, his last month has been good. Okay, that's that game. Let's go to the last one, Freo Suns. Again, I don't have any of the tokens or promos, so we've got what I would do at the time being of recording Friday night. Sam Clossy, dude, ever since I've noted him and liked his form, he's missed 3 13s in a row. Like, how could you be any more like unlucky? Is that like a sign? Anyway, that sign means I'm going again. I'm going for the 4th time on Clossy. Again, he's playing on the wing for Gold Coast. I think I gotta back him. I've been watching him too much, and he's coming up just short every time. So he's someone who I want to back. Ben Ainsworth missed, and yeah, I like that straight away. Hayden Young, there's just no value for 20 here. Nat Fife, I just do not trust. I don't want to trust old body. I don't know if he's going to be subbed or whatever. No thanks. So Hayden Young's really the only one there for 20. Andy Brayshaw, who missed last week after the Dogs pumped Freo. I liked him. He ran around everywhere he needed to be. He just didn't receive things when he was open. He was always asking for the footy. I like Brayshaw. A player like that, any player is bound to miss or have like Not necessarily they're having an off game, but the team might have an off game. So I still like Brayshaw. And he might not always start in the middle at CBAs. Don't worry about that. He'll play half forward and then he's on the ball the rest of it. So, and goal kickers, Sam Sturt, I haven't even really taken notice of, but 9 out of 10, averaging almost 2 goals a game for $1.24 is great. I usually like Michael Frederick. I could have highlighted him, but Matt Rouse, $3. That's another little tempting one, but he just kicked a goal last game. $3 for a coin flip. I like those odds. But yeah, we already have... Oh, who did I include? Yeah, Took Miller, Brayshaw. Oh, Took Miller, he missed... Why don't I have him highlighted? He missed... No, he's averaging just 25. Probably because that 14 is in his cycle, and that's going to hurt. Took Miller got a harsh tag against St Kilda a couple of weeks ago. And they're just coming off the bye. I like Took Miller there. Anyway, so that's my bets for this week. I'm going to end the video now. I need to upload this to YouTube. So I'm just going to say again, I don't know if any of you guys make it to the end, but remember, I'm going to upload on the community section an updated thing for... Oh, I just realized I forgot to switch that over to the Freo game. I'm going to upload stuff on the community thing with an updated guide for Essendon West Coast and Freo Suns. Probably an updated bet for myself as well, and I'll probably do that Sunday morning. So keep your eyes on that. Yeah, otherwise, we're freaking smashing it. I forgot to say that in the first video. We're all up to 1,300. I got to $2,000 last year, so yeah, we'll keep it going. We're doing really well. And again, thanks for all the likes, all the support. When you guys like this video, when you guys comment or message, it's been great feedback. It's really been great, because I remember we started the season out like a little, we were breaking even, we're even down starting the year, but we have just turned it around. So again, thank you for all the support. I can't wait till these buys are over. I'm sick of being drip fed like such small amounts of footy. I need the full fucking 9 games around. I can't, this is so boring with such little footy. Anyway, let's watch the game tonight, and good luck, and we'll chat next week. All right, peace.